This playthrough is rated E for everyone. Well, time to celebrate the rising of someone's savior with the representation of rabbits, and why not Tiny Toon Adventures by Konami, published by Konami and based off the Warner Brothers of the same name. Let's listen to some plot. While Buster Bunny relaxes at home, Montana Max suddenly appears on the TV. Oh, how could he do such a thing? Oh wait, he's a rich kid. Of course he can do it. Hey, Buster, I've kidnapped Babs Bunny. I can't do Montana Max's voice. Help me, Buster, help! Help me! I can't do her original voice either. There's no way. Because they're voice actors, so. Come on, Buster! Come and get her! Yeah, I can't really do the guy's voice, so. What should I do? I have to help Babs quickly! So that's pretty much the plot of this game of Tiny Toon Adventures. Yeah, back in the day when, like, games based off franchises were actually pretty decent. Like, even back in the Nintendo era, NES, which had a lot of shovelware. But, you know, Konami did some pretty good games. Same with Capcom and stuff like that. Ah, memories. But anyway, let's play the game and see what's up in this game. Obviously, it's NES, or there's... no, we got 6 different worlds we can go to. I think this one's the hills, technically. Oh, there's Shirley Loon. She's a... oh, yeah, she's here to help me choose a partner. So, throughout the journey, when you go through certain levels, you can... switch to your partner by finding the star ball, and depending on your playstyle, you might like one character over another. So, yeah, we're playing the NES version, so there's only up, down, left, right, select, start, and B and A. Yep, and that's how we liked it. So, Plucky, his big thing is he can fly, so he, well, fly, quote unquote. He can more float than anything, really. Dizzy, his big thing is, oh yeah, Plucky Duck, which is basically the Tiny Toons version of Daffy Duck, you know. Dizzy Devil, he's the Tiny Toons version of the Tasmanian Devil. And then Furball is Sylvester. Fluffball is Sylvester's Tiny Toon, basically, in this case. Dizzy Devil, his thing is he can turn into a tornado, smash through walls, and smash through enemies. He's probably the most useful character for combating people. And then Fluffball, or Flirball here, can climb walls and slow down his descent. I prefer playing as Taz, but I'll swap up between the characters, so I'll show Plucky first. But yeah, Shirley Loon, her big thing is she was basically a Valley Girl type of anagram. Tiny Toons. Back in the day, I grew up with this show back in the day. We get a heart here that gets us an extra hit. The big thing about this, playing as Buster, he doesn't initially have any ability of his own. However, you hold down the B button, Buster can run, which going through the holes a lot faster. And like a good old-fashioned platformer, we can die. We can float over, or float. We have to jump on enemies to knock them out. Or unless you're dizzy, then you can bust through them. Yeah, I can't believe I died in that first part there. Oh well. Yeah, we're bound to have that happen. The game itself is, I would say, overall, medium difficulty. I wouldn't say it's super hard, but you just have to kind of be aware. Oh, we got some Mario Brothers sledding here. Woo! Yeah, we can actually take them out that way, too. Yeah, these are just generic rat characters. As far as I know, I don't remember these characters from anywhere in the show. Maybe, I mean, I guess I could try to find some correlation with them. Usually most, oh yeah, there's a star ball there where we can swap out the character. So, yeah, and then if you hold down the button, Plucky will just look at the screen. Yeah, he was like his counterpart where he always wanted to hog the show and stuff like that. I did like him. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. I don't know who... I'd have to think about who is my favorite character in Tiny Toons. Probably was Plucky, because he always got him... You know, despite his narcissism and everything like that, he always got him the... Usually, more of the funny jokes revolved around him. I forgot this character's name. He's go, yup, yup. That's his thing. I think his name was like Eugene. I'll have to look it up later, so... I don't remember everyone's thing. But yeah, Plucky tended to have the better like jokes surrounding him, or some of the better scenes, despite Babs and Buster being the main characters. It was the same with Plucky or Daffy Duck too. You know, a lot of people tend to like him more than Bugs. Well, I guess it kind of depends. Bugs had some pretty good jokes too. Yeah, the reason we're collecting all these carrots is that at certain points in certain levels, you can get some extra lives, which, speak of the devil, or speak of the pig in this case, if we go in this door here, hey, we can Hampton Pig, who's the Tiny Toon version of Porky Pig. But anyway, yeah, he's telling us that if we have 30 carrots by the time we meet him, we'll get an extra life, which is separate, which is there on the bottom corner with that P symbol underneath the POW. We now have 3 men. Oh yeah, and that's another thing we can do. We can actually slide as Buster. Let me show you. Yeah, just press down. You can slide into enemies. Yeah, Hampton's thing is basically giving you lives over the course of the level. They try to, in this game, try to incorporate most of the characters. I know there's quite a few that don't make an appearance, but that's because it's NES. You can only do so many characters. Each of the areas has like 3 sections, except for the final area, which I think has like 1 or 2. But yeah, sometimes. Oh yeah, the dog character that was over there, he's basically the Arnold impersonator dog. Yeah, I think his name actually was Arnold in the game. But yeah, he's basically just a parody of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, there's Elvira, the Elmer Fudd-ish character, except in this case she just likes to hug and squeeze animals to death. Make sure not to get caught by her because you have to redo the whole stage again. What I mean is the whole beginning of the stage. I would have had to redo the very beginning of the game if she caught us. Yeah, kind of a mean thing to do, game. Anyway, we're in the Haunted Mansion level. Ooh, Haunted Mansion. I've never been on the ride, unfortunately, or seen... Well, I've heard about the movie with Eddie Murphy, but... Yeah. Anyway, we got Starball here, so... yeah, I got more of those rat dudes, but we got a new enemy in here as well. The pumpkins. Watch out for them pumpkins. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, they... if you jump on, they turn the pumpkins. If you wait too long, they'll reset or something like that, so... Not that I really have to worry. Like I said, this game is easy to moderate difficulty, depending on your play style. Obviously, it's NES. You'd think it'd be harder for NES because, you know, back in the day of NES design, you know, where everything had to be as difficult as a arcade game. Oh, yeah, I got the timer here that slows down. I think it completely stops time, actually. Say, ooh, another extra heart. In this case, since we already had a heart, we just get an extra life, so... Oh, no! They could have got me. Or I could have floated as Plucky. Oh, well. Yeah, if I was Furball, I probably could have, there we go. Oop. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Dropping down on top of me. But anyway, I hope, you know, I was talking about the game, but I realized this whole game is supposed to be just me kind of just talking about Easter and just stuff. Joga! Ghosts and stuff like that. Yeah, I shouldn't have moved forward when they appeared. Woo. Okay. No. The whole, I don't even know if I'm going to finish this. Actually, it's not that long of a game. But I was just using it as kind of an in-between game for, oh, whoa. Well, yeah, this is what happens when you rush through. Oh, well. Then we get to see Plucky's death animation. Unfortunately, we do it to start from the beginning of the stage, because we actually had to finish the stage. Ah, there's the NES difficulty right there. Well, let's switch back to Buster, even though he didn't really have any special abilities. You know, it's kind of weird how the main character of the game doesn't have special abilities. You think, you know, he's the main character, but I mean, most of the stories in Tiny Toons did surround him specifically, him and Babs. They were a pretty good duo, I thought. Although most people nowadays tend to think a lot of the jokes of Tiny Toons kind of a little bit like dated, like it's so 90s. Unlike, you know, the second or another series that came afterwards, Animaniacs. But I don't know. I still kind of like Tiny Toons. I'm not sure if I like it more than Animaniacs. Animaniacs has some pretty good jokes, at least the original Animaniacs. I haven't watched the new series that they redid. I kind of don't want to, mainly because it's just a reboot, and I heard they got rid of like all the characters and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, and I forgot to get the extra life. So, oh well. As long as I don't rush ahead when they spawn, you know, I should be fine. Just don't let those ghosts get you. But yeah, this whole game is just me just making an excuse to play some of the rabbits on Easter. You know, for those who don't want people to talk about the religious aspect of this game, which is, or not this game, of this season being Easter. Uh-oh. We got, I forgot what episode this guy comes in. The crazy scientist, you know. Yeah, he just kind of does flips. Whoops. I guess I must have not jumped on him properly when he did his skateboard flip. I need to grab one of those, that extra HP thing. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, sure, we can swap the Plucky one out. If you want to swap companions, I think you have to actually redo the map, I think, to swap companions. So maybe depending on how far we get, maybe I'll die on purpose just to show Dizzy and Furball. At least I believe it's Furball is his name. I always mess it up with either Furball or Flippball. I think it's Furball. And weirdly enough, he actually doesn't talk unlike Sylvester. Which I think Sylvester... I don't know, Sylvester might have not originally talked in the cartoons. I'll admit I'm not a Looney Tunes aficionado, so don't expect me to know everything about Bugs Bunny and all them. Although I did... Oh, God. Well, I wasted that opportunity. Thanks. Great. What was I going to say? Yeah, I did watch it when I was a kid. Obviously, I didn't... Even at my age, as old as I am, I actually didn't watch it when they first originally aired. I watched them via reruns on, like... I'm trying to remember what station like TV station I watched them from. I know I watched reruns of the old cartoons. I liked them quite a bit. Even as a kid, I was always drawn to cartoons. Drawn to cartoons. But I forgot what this scientist's name. Oh, okay, so that's why I did wrong. I was too far off to the side because you have to jump on his head to do damage to him, and I keep getting hit by his skateboard. So I need to. Yeah, I'll just switch back to Buster for this. I think Buster does actually jump higher than the other characters. That's his one special. Oh, other than being able to run. Wow, I am really doing badly here. Holy crap. Well, like I said, I wasn't originally planning to beat this game. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, the game isn't that long, so I don't know. But the original idea, like I said, was to talk about just random stuff and just like for those of you celebrate Easter, hopefully you're and if you do celebrate, hopefully you enjoy the day. If you don't, then hopefully your day goes by uneventfully bad. Hopefully it just goes well for you. You know, I don't think anyone wants anyone to have bad days. Maybe your worst enemy, but even my worst enemy, I usually want just something annoying to happen to him, like something getting stuck in his teeth, or something in his nails. You know, just to bug him. You know, just to show him what's what. Okay, let's not actually get hit this time by this thing, so we can actually have a couple of hits. I'm always one of those people that, even though I could beat a thing in one go, I always like having the extra insurance just in case. Like, oh no, I don't like being. Oh, come on, man. No, why? Well, that's what I get for just not just trusting myself and backing off and all this other stuff. Okay, well, let's try getting this guy this time. So. And if I'm not actually on the very corner when he keeps hitting me with the oh, maybe I need to just hit him when he's in the middle of the route. Yeah, that's probably it. Like because when he's flipping, he's probably got not so much invincibility, but he's probably in that case where maybe you could hit him, but you have to. It's a bit more dangerous to do that. So, all right, we've got this time, folks. I've got us. I can beat this baby's game. But it's Nintendo. It's old NES, which means it's not that easy. Well, I mean, there are easy games, right? Like Barbie's Adventures and stuff like that, but those are so tediously easy, it's not even funny. Oh, I forgot to show out the animation there, where you can just hang on the side there. It's like, you know, cool. Kind of reminds me of the beer episode of Tiny Toons. Yeah, there was actually an episode where they drank beer, but the whole point of the episode was to show the dangers of, kids drinking alcohol. And yet it got banned because it had kids drinking alcohol. It's like, dude, context. You know what the episode's about. The episode is about how it's not good to do that. Yet they just banned it anyway. I'm like, so much for a message being sent, you know? Because they did have, I mean, as a cartoon placated mainly towards kids, they had their messages and everything like that in it, you know, don't bully, all this other stuff, but it wasn't obvious. They only had one episode, it was more of a joke, but it showed it was like Hampton, Buster, and Plucky finding a beer in whose fridge was it? Hampton's dad, maybe. But anyway, yeah, they find a beer. I think they just call it beer. I don't think they say anything specific. And yeah, the whole episode is them drinking, and then they go down a terrible spiral of depression and all this other stuff because of the. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was just being stupid. See, look how easy it is. How easy it is, and then I see how easy that was, and yeah, it took me like 5 tries to do it. Maybe it isn't easy, folks. Maybe it isn't. No, it's actually pretty easy. I was just being stupid about it. Yeah. Show me off, Eugene. Or whatever his name was. I know his joke was, like, trying to eat you every time. Yeah, see, 3 stages and boom, we're already done. Why are you going all the way around there to save Babs? Don't you just need to go to Montana Max's, like, house? That's where she's at, right? Okay, so it is each stage where you can swap out characters, so... Let's swap to Dizzy this time. Probably will end up having to continue or come back here if it comes back. But yeah, we're in the sand dunes. Whoa! Little guy, if you get in the sand, yeah, you have to jump out. Otherwise, I think... Too bad I wasn't dizzy. I could have just, like, blasted through him, so... Oh, well. And you can jump on these guys. You think you couldn't because of their spiky shells, but, no, you can't. Yeah, that kind of almost goes against, like, gaming dissonance, where, you know, like in Mario, if a creature had a spike on it, you think, oh, I can't bounce on that because it's got a spike. Or if you do it, then you see what happens, you're like, ah. Oh, yeah, let's show off Dizzy's ability as soon as we get a good spot here, so... No, yeah, we could show unique swimming animations. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you press the B button, you can use Dizzy's special attack, which is charging through the enemy. So yeah, it makes him probably the most useful ally in the game, because it means, depending on what happens, you can just blast through everyone. So, oh, whoa. Actually, I don't think you can actually jump on those guys. I could be wrong, though. I can spin through them. Oh, yeah. Then, yeah, you don't want to jump on them because of that. Oh, there we go. Nice, a heart. We'll take that. Yeah, hopefully we'll find a... I think Hampton always appears in the second stage of a level, if I recall. Yeah, you have to find his door to, yeah, we should get a couple of lives, too. We might not have to continue, so we'll see what happens. Yep, me out there. Oh, but anyway, at the end of the beer episode, they go down a downward spiral, and I think they get in a car and it crashes actually at the end of it, and then they pop up at the end of it saying, you know, hey, don't drink and drive, and don't, you know, drink irresponsibly and all this other stuff. And obviously the message is, don't drink irresponsibly. So, but no, it got pulled from most stations. I mean, I saw the original run of it, but now you have to like look for it online if you want to watch it. I mean, it's not like it's weirdly enough, like, even though even though it's like a, you know, a banned episode in a lot of places, it's not even that, like, intense of an episode when you think about it, despite me saying, you know, they crash a car in it, but, at least if I remember correctly, I'll admit it's been, like, a long time. Oh yeah, Dizzy uses power in water. Since he can't spin in water, he just shoots out a little tornado or whatever. Oh yeah, I can't go up there. Nope, I gotta get down there. I think going the other way would have given me something, but yeah, I gotta be careful I don't have an extra hit right now, so. Whew. Don't want to use my power too. But I think that's the only banned episode of Looney Tunes, or Tiny Toons that I recall. There might be some others, like in other nations and countries, but that's the one that's universally banned. Like I said, despite it not being pretty tame comparatively, I think. So, I don't know. Maybe 90s kids like myself were able to... I'm a kind of a 90s/80s kid. Maybe we could handle a bit more of the more modern audiences. I think we could, anyway. I don't know about you folks, but the generations after me, I don't... Maybe it could be the whole old man yelling at clouds, but... Oh yeah, I guess we missed the Hampton. Hampton was probably in this level somewhere, but... Oh well. And like every stage... Yep, we got to avoid Elvira. I was about to say Elvira, so... No, that's a different game. Actually, she did get her own game series. It was I think it was a point-click adventure game where you play as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. It was pretty... Oh yeah. The problem with this one is you have to get under the thing to... see if I can... Because, yeah, you can't beat Elvira, so... Or Elmira. There we go. I don't know why I keep saying Elvira. Elmira. Yeah, you can't beat her. You can't jump on her or anything. Otherwise, she auto-captures you, and you have to redo the whole stage all over again. And this is... Technically, this is all stage 2. It's just... Okay, these are weird-looking pirates. Well, this is Konami taking liberties with the property, you know. A lot of games did that way. They would get the gist of, like, what they needed to make for the game, but they would then obviously for extras, cause extra stuff, they're like, okay, well, most of the characters in Tiny Toons weren't technically villains. I'm trying to think though. See, in the series, the only villains I'm aware of were Montana Max and Elvira, and then the Arnold Dog dude who worked for Montana half the time. But it was more just depending on the situation. I'm trying to think if there were any other. Even the people that were considered quote unquote villains from Looney Tunes weren't really villains in it. You know, like your Yosemite Sam and I should have stayed as Dizzy. Oh well. They weren't villains in this one. They were teachers. So because the whole point of Tiny Toons was that the old generation was teaching the new generation about how to be cartoons and entertaining people and all this other stuff. And usually most of the teachers were, you know, all the characters in Tiny Toons were usually copies of their well, their rats are getting smarter. I'm trying to throw save set, or not save set, what was that, a barbell? No, I guess, no, that's an anvil. Typical cartoony anvil situation there. Not sure. Oh, well, okay. I guess he throws it when you get too close. But yeah, the only problem with like Tiny Toons is most of the characters, for the most part, were basically copies of the Looney Tunes characters. There was a few exceptions where, let's see, yeah, those are start to fall, so you have to be kind of careful not make too high of a jump. Let's see, Babs was her own thing. Babs Bunny. Thanks. Babs Bunny was her own thing. I mean, you could, if you really worked hard, you could probably find her counterpart somewhere in the show, but for the most part, she was her own unique character. Like Babs was or Buster was clearly, you know, for Bugs, you know, Plucky for Daffy, stuff like that. I'm trying to think. I think Go-Go, the Dodo, was kind of his own unique thing. And although technically there was a Looney Tunes character similar to him, so okay, there's not that. And then obviously Elvira is Elmer Fudd's counterpart. Montana Max is kind of Yosemite Sam's for the most part. Because I think there was an episode where they, you know, were kind of worked together, if I recall. But Yosemite Sam was, and I think in that show was seen as more of a good light than being the antagonist character, kind of like with when he fought Bugs during shorts and stuff like that. Yeah, don't throw those anvils at me. I'll just bust through you with my power, with my dizzy power. Yeah, I guess he would get dizzy while doing that. Yeah, it means I don't have to worry about jumping on him and all that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any other characters there. Well, let's see. No, Falmouth was, there's a character called Falmouth, but he's basically Foghorn Leghorns. Although his thing was different, because the whole idea with Foghorn Leghorn was that you couldn't understand him because of his accent. But Falmouth, his thing was, well, he was Falmouth, so he cursed up a storm every time he was on screen, so they purposely bleeped it out. I don't know if the voice actor actually cursed. Oh, we get a generic pirate character. Okay. At least I don't recall him in any of the episodes of the show. The guy on the skateboard, he was actually in an episode of the show. I think it was like one of the horror episodes, like scary episodes or something like that. Oh no! I knew, you know, I had an idea he was gonna fall on top of me. Now I have to do that all over again. Oh well. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, I was thinking, because the bosses usually aren't overall that hard. It's just I'm really bad at this game apparently. I played this game like when I was a kid. It was just so long ago. What do you expect, you know? It's Easter. I don't know how to play this on Easter. I should be at church. No. Actually, interesting enough, I did actually go to church when I was younger. Christian, you know, for those who are curious. Yeah, parents took us for quite a few years, and then at some point, I'm trying to remember what age it was. I think it was like 8 or 9. We kind of just stopped going to church, which I was glad for. I was definitely not a fan of church, especially as a kid. I don't know what my parents' reasons for that were. I know my personal reasons. I forgot what the name of the church was. Obviously, I wouldn't say it out loud because, you know, I don't want to, like, pull it out in the open, that type of thing. You know, leave. Actually, I don't even know if that church is still around anymore, to tell you the truth. Oh, come on. I knew that was happening, and I still walked into it anyway. But anyway, it was, I think, usually when you're a kid and you go to church, usually, you know, Bugs is like, I was sly, I dodged that. What do you think, ladies? No, actually, in this case, I guess it'd be Babs. They were pretty much a couple in the show. I don't know if they ever... It wasn't all the time, though. I think it was more near the end of the series when they kind of did the whole, oh, we're a couple now kind of thing. But at the beginning of the show, they were more just like good friends, or they, you know, had good rapport with each other because they were the hosts of the show. But anyway, let's see. But anyway, when you're a kid and you go to, like, at least most... dang it. Do I even have a continue? Might be actually... Well, I don't know. Maybe I should finish my story and, yeah, we'll play a little bit longer. Why not? We just have to redo it all over again, though, so... Yeah, we'll keep playing as Dizzy. I don't know if I'll do more episodes of this, but I wanted to see how far I could get within it. What is wrong with me today? Apparently, I am not in a platforming mood. Like, because I'm failing at this game that's actually pretty, you know, easy compared to other games in this, around this line. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. But anyway, when you're, at least most churches are like this. Most churches are like this, where, you know, most of the kids go off to kind of a church school or whatever because, you know, most kids can't sit still long enough to listen to the sermons. So I don't know why I have to jump on them. It's like I could easily just skip them. But anyway, we went to Sunday school is what it was. Yeah, that's it. God, you can tell it's been forever since I did that. Since you know, I didn't remember it that well. But I don't remember the full details. It had something to do with like some exercise we were supposed to do. That obviously Sunday school being religious connotations. But it was either like something we wanted to do or something we liked to do or something like that. But anyway, I forgot what I said. I think it had something to do with like playing games or something like that, maybe, or writing stories. I'm not sure the details. I just remember I was made fun of in the class and heckled, which you would think a Sunday school class they would like not do stuff like that because, you know, good Christian kids and all this other stuff. But no, that's I got like bullied and heckled in class, and I don't remember the teacher, or I don't even know. It wasn't really a teacher. In Sunday school, it's more like volunteers who watch over the class or whatever and give us exercise to do. They didn't do anything. I don't even know if they really defended me or tried to stop them from doing it. I just remember getting heckled and annoyed at the kids and everything like that. And eventually, I just went back to the main church and sat in the sermons. I thought they were boring, but I'd rather listen to that than deal with the kids harassing me. And after that, I think I never went back to Sunday school. And I think not too long afterwards, we stopped going to church. Although I think my folks told me that they never felt comfortable in the community because I guess they felt like they were outsiders. So at some point they decided to leave too because they weren't feeling the situation there. So good for them, right? Good for me, I guess. But after that, let's see. I think the only other times I went to church after that was when like family members wanted to, like, you know, relatives or whatever wanted to go to services, and we were just being polite by going to the service. But yeah, after that, and recently I don't think I've gone to church other than for just like, unless a function was going there ever since. I guess I should have used my ability. I did it before. But yeah, that's my church story. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that too much because even though I was playing this as an Easter game, I wanted, you know, for people who want to enjoy the Tiny Toons game. Like I said, I don't know if I'll play this even further. I might find some other games to play as, so we'll see what my schedules or what I'm feeling like at the time, because I wasn't originally going to do like a full playthrough of this game. It was more just to kind of mess around and have something to talk about outside of like playing my RPGs and stuff like that, because I've been doing quite a few long RPGs back to back, and I kind of wanted something a bit simple to record for a while. And yes, I know I have the choice to change or not play those at any time, but I don't know. Oh god, let's see if we can get back here. Oof. Yeah. But I usually try to like finish those games to completion, you know. So, because if you stop in the middle of something like that, sometimes even if the game's good, sometimes it's hard to get back into it immediately there afterwards. So you kind of want to keep playing them till they're done. Because then if you wait too long, then you lose track of like what's going on, and then you're like, uh-oh. I have to either find a synopsis or go through the whole game again or something like that. That's happened to me a lot with quite a few RPGs that like really just didn't hit the stride, you know, and I ended up beating them eventually, but I kind of had to work at it, so. Let's see. Probably should stop right now just because of this one's a weird level just because it's like you could easily avoid her until the exit sign appears because she never jumps up. You would think they would have her jump up or do something like that, but I don't know. Maybe in the different versions or something like that, she can jump up or whatever, like the Super Nintendo version or something like that. Although the Super Nintendo version's a different game at that point. I'll see. I'll try to beat the level one more time, like just at like right now. But if I don't, oh yeah, I didn't even look for the door this time for Hampton. So whoops. I bet he was just like if I went a different direction on that floor, I bet I would have found Hampton instead of going the same pathway I had been before. But I don't know what else I was gonna say. I was like that church story was the big thing, and then I was actually gonna end the episode after I told the story, but I wanted to at least try to see if I can beat this boss. I can. It's just getting to him. I feel like I almost feel kind of pathetic because I should be able to get through this game like super easy. Like I said, this game is not that hard in the grand scheme of like NES games. Like I've played some hard NES games, and this game is not hard. It actually has decent control. The only time it's a little weird is if you move too far. Sometimes it gets a little floaty, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I don't know why I'm just having trouble on it. I guess it's just because it's been forever since I played a classic side scroller before, because those tend to be a little bit challenging. Ugh. Yeah, that little floatiness. But even with the floatiness, I think the game's controls are still pretty solid. You know, very rarely could you say that with some, because as much as people like the NES had a lot of bad games for it. Like it was almost shovelware at the time. Like you could I think the NES had like almost 1,000 games for it, and maybe like I'd say, at least in America anyway, maybe like 200, maybe 100 to 200 of them were actually decently able to be playable games that were actually fun. Because there was a lot of them that were like not fun at all or too difficult or whatever. And there were some that were difficult but fun, you know, like Castlevania, but there were so many that were just like cheap, you know. And you've probably watched, you know, internet channels talk about like some of those more difficult games or really crappy games like what was that one that had like 300 games on it? Action 52. Oh no, it just had 52 games. But what? I could have dodged that. What's wrong with me? That was easy to dodge. It was like right there. Okay, one more time and then we'll call it an episode. Oh man, that was so easy. What was wrong with me? Oh man. Like, did I just lose my groove when I got older? I guess so. They do say that when you get older, your hand-eye coordination, like, just, I just love doing that. They say your hand-eye coordination does, like, get, like, the response time isn't as quick, so, you know, you're more prone to fail or not reacting quickly or something like that. Now, obviously, if you're practice at this all the time, you'll get better, but as a kid, you know, you can pick up stuff like this like really quickly and master it almost, I wouldn't say instantaneously, but on a pretty quick basis. But when you get older, you know, you have other things in your brain, so you can't just focus on just this. So you have to, you know, really focus when you get older. When you're younger, just boom, 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 boom. But, no, that's just, I was actually going to use POW, and then I just walked over and just like, poink. Yeah, I don't know why I keep failing to that guy. Well, it's like when I failed to the skateboard guy, although that's just a case of just me not paying attention. Like, it was easy to beat that guy, and I just, for some reason, it took me a hot minute to figure it out, so much for an Easter celebration, you know. Although, like I said, I don't really celebrate Easter. I mean, I celebrate the rabbit part of it, which is obviously not the real celebration. The rabbit is an indication of, maybe I should save that for another episode when I talk about that. Just some topic of conversation to have, you know. But I'm always one of those people that sometimes when I get an idea or something I want to talk about, I get a, oh come on, oh no, His jumping is a little bit wonky. If we can hit him a third time, we can call it an episode. So, alright, jump down here, dude. Oh, no, no, no! Okay, I'll do it on one more life, and then we're calling it an episode. No, we'll do. Screw it, we'll do it live. Oh man. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I probably could just be cutting to the boss, but I don't know. Just something about just playing straight there and just talking about random stuff before I get there is a bit more entertaining. I should have just turned into Dizzy's tornado. Probably would have given him vulnerability on that boss there. It's kind of weird how you know. Why did I do that? I knew that Dizzy's better for this anyway. Can I go back? No, I can't go back. I have to do this the hard way. This is why you choose Dizzy in the first place. He's the easiest character to play as. If I can get up there. Oh, there's nothing there. I was actually hoping the Hampton door would be there so I could get some extra lives, but... Alright, let's do the ship one more time. At least this isn't Mickey Mouse Capades here. This... Oh, never mind. I was gonna make it Man. Talk about just crappy, like, playing, you know. I know it's been forever since I played these games, but I should be able to just pick this up easily. Like, I mean, it's like riding a bicycle, you know. You never truly forget, you know. See, like, if I know what I'm doing, I can just, like, run through the level. It's just when you get to the boss. I think it's because I'm not being confident in my skills, despite the fact I know what I need to do for that, you know. Like, to be that boss, but I'm just... It's like... Alright, one more time, dude. Who's up for round 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Yeah, see, like, he'll sometimes just jump into your attack range. Like, that's how much I suck at this game. Well, I hope you enjoyed my Tiny Toon Adventures playthrough. Yeah, I know that, and there's videos online of people doing this without getting hit or dying at all, and doing it like within less than an hour, but that's not me. But hope you enjoyed this little Easter celebration. I'll have another Easter game and another time slot. I think I'll stop here. If people really want me to play this again, I'll pop this in another day, but for now we're going to leave it as is. So so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and enjoy your Easter holiday if you celebrate it. If not, have a good day.